Hello and welcome to Kevin's Covers. Today we're going to take a look at the inevitable Sweet Home Alabama by Leonard Skinner. As is always the case on this channel, I'm not going to show you how to play this the way Skinner played it. This is an arrangement for solo acoustic work with one acoustic guitar and one voice. I have found this to be a very successful song, busking, playing solo gigs, or even just, I remember playing it for a girl at a train station once that really worked. Anyway, first what we're going to do is I have taped a solo performance of it, all one take, warts and all. We'll take a look at that and then come back and I'll show you how to do this, at least in this particular arrangement. This is not a channel about learning how to play the guitar. I'm assuming that you're a pretty good guitar player to begin with. Now there are different levels of difficulty. I rate this as intermediate in difficulty, maybe a little challenging. Bits of it are a little bit more difficult than others. It kind of depends on how comfortable you are with flat picking. As now I say flat picking, my very first guitar teacher was a bluegrass player and taught me a lot of what he called at least flat picking. It has a bit of a different definition for different people before I start playing classical, but that's a whole other story. So let's take a look at the performance, then we'll come back and look at it in detail.
Man don't need him around anyhow. Sweet home Alabama, where the skies are so blue. Sweet home Alabama, Lord, I'm coming home to you. They love the governor. Boo, boo, boo. Now we all did what we could do. Yes, we do. Watergate does not bother me. Does your conscience bother you? Tell me true. Sweet home Alabama, where the skies are so blue. Sweet home Alabama, Lord, I'm coming home to you. Here we go, Alabama. Shows they got the swampers. They've been known to sing a song or two. Yes, you do. Lord, they give me all so much. Pick me up when I'm feeling blue. How about you? Sweet home Alabama, where
Okay, so how is this arranged? First of all, this is in the key of G. The progression is a little bit backwards. Instead of playing G, C, D, so 1, 4, 5, we're playing 5, 4, 1, so D, C, G, but it is in the key of G, and as such, once again, this is a song where if you can really get down that kind of open string pentatonic major scale in G down here, you can do a whole lot with this song. So, basic thing over the verse, we are pretty much always going to be hitting the bass note twice. So D, C, G, right? And then everything else you do is just dressing around that, right? So typically, at least in the very beginning, when you're playing it solo acoustic, you have to come out with the riffs that people are used to hearing, and that is right D. So just off the D chord, we're playing D D, right? D D D A. So, and then for the C, it's actually a C9, right? Because we're still playing that D, and then down to the G. So you're going to keep that your third finger on that D note. Now that little riff over there, you pretty much have to play, right? Practice that a little bit. Make sure you got it in your hands. You'll be fine. You can pretty much get by with the song if you can do that. Now, then we have in the very beginning, if you listen to the performance, we have that right. That really makes it. If you can pull that off, people will absolutely recognize the song. They'll be very happy to hear it. So. Now, typically at that point, I start strumming a little bit more, right? So instead of going, I go. Now at that point, instead of doing the initial riff, if you want to, instead of going back to that A, B, you pull off the A, G, right? So you go. Yeah, that really, there's actually a piano in the original Skinner thing, and I think that coming up and just hitting that little harmonic on the 12th fret and the 3rd string really helps. So you end up doing. And then you start singing while that harmonic is ringing. It's kind of nice. So that's pretty much the verse. And as you're going through the verse, you play around with that, right? Big wheels keep on turning. And then we have this little riff that is really kind of simple, but I think for whatever reason I just love doing this, right? Big wheels keep on turning. And then we have this. And just that. And also a little bit of a showmanship thing here is that you take your hands off the neck. So you go. Big wheels keep on turning. Don't know why, but that kind of works. Anyway. Now, you're going to be playing that over the verses. And then we have this little riff that Skinner, I think, plays now with electric guitar. If you try to do that, suddenly all these nice ringing strings stop ringing. All these open strings just go away and it comes down. So what you can do is you can play it down here, because really what we're looking for is, okay, actually they're playing, but instead of playing that little, I think that's what they do, instead of playing that little chromatic run, we can actually play it like this, right? have all these nice open ringing strings. I was really proud of myself when I figured that out. I don't know, like 13 or 14, and I just thought I was the bee's knees for working that out. I'm sure other people have found exactly the same thing, but this was before the internet, guys, so that was just my own little 13-year-old mind, and I've been proud of it ever since. So here we go. So basically, we're sliding from this E, so the fourth string, second fret, up to the F sharp, right? So now that's an A minor 7 shape, although we're not actually not playing the entire thing. So there we have that pull off, E, D, A, B, right? And then we're just playing those two open strings, the D and the G. So if you can actually pull it off and play it in time, it sounds very nice, right? So that's actually probably the most difficult thing in the song, particularly when you come out of the second solo, and you really have to end it in there because, at least for me, I have a tendency to kind of get carried away in the little solo-y bits, the instrumental bits, and you have to come back and kind of bring things down and immediately run into that little riff. But if you practice it enough, it'll get in your fingers, just like anything. Then we get to the chorus. Now, for whatever reason, there are so many people who just don't get this right. I've seen a lot of people just play the chorus, this song, just wrong. First of all, I'd point out a lot of people, they just play this song too fast. They really try to race through it, and it loses all of its groove. It loses its kind of funkiness, and you gotta sit down in it. Instead of playing it fast, play it intensely with all the flat picking, and that particularly goes for the chorus, right? So it's the same chords, with one major exception, is that we're coming back for one beat into a C, and if you don't hit that C, you have no business playing this song. And the other thing is that whereas typically in the verse we're going, in the chorus we want to work our way up into those notes, right? Those bass notes. Instead of a little bit of a difference, but it helps to really build things, right? Sweet home Alabama 2. And there's that C. And if you don't hit that C, don't bother with the song. So, sweet home Alabama 2. Where the skies are so. Now here, we have this little trill, right? We have this little series of notes that I think really makes the chorus. It really makes people recognize it, and that's this. Right? So, a little bit difficult to hit sometimes. You really have to kind of have a flat picking technique, but when you put that all together, you have a really nice chorus. If you have a little difficulty with it, just like anything else, play it really slowly a while, and then you build up things. One of my first guitar teacher, well, classical teacher, when I started playing classical, always told me, if you want to play something fast, and it's too fast for you, then play it really slowly over and over again, and then you'll get there. And he was right. So, sweet home Alabama. The skies are so blue. Sweet home Alabama 2. But I'm coming home to you. F, C, D. That's the chorus. Now, only other thing are the solos, well, the instrumental bits. And of course, Leonard Skinner had 3 guitars. We only have 1. So, and we have to keep that overall riff going. We have to make sure that we're hearing it. So, my mind, the thing to do is when you get to that G, right, the D, C, G, that then you throw in a little bit of a riff playing around with that major pentatonic scale, right? So. Remember, particularly the second instrumental bit is we're playing over the chorus. So we have to come back and hit that C, at least from time to time, show people where we are. And that little, right, those triplets, if you have that in the middle of your solo, it just works. You know, you're showing that you know where you are and what the song is. So throughout the chorus, right, play around with things like that, all right. And always make sure you come back and you're hitting those bass notes where they should be hit, and you'll be fine. So put that all together. I've always found that this particular arrangement of Sweet Home Alabama has served me well when playing solo acoustic, and I hope that it will serve you too. So rock on.